Good evening, everyone. I'm John Truitt. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, President Donald Trump is urging Republicans to take unprecedented action to reopen the government. And Michigan's government is trying to feed families left without SNAP benefits due to the federal shutdown. And celebrating small businesses here in the UP. Your 19 News at 11 starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 11.
And a first look at your forecast as we head into tonight. These temperatures are very comfortable. We should be seeing around 28, 29 degrees for the overnight lows, and our lows for tonight and the highs for tomorrow are going to be through. So that's similar. We're not going to have a chance to really warm up because we do have a cold front moving through. So with that being said, cloudy skies and some showers at least to start the day. But then as temperatures get to the 30s and the lower 30s by the evening, we could see that wintry mix and of course the snow continuing over the weekend. I'll break it all down for you in a few minutes.
In Washington, President Donald Trump is urging Republicans to take unprecedented action to reopen the government. The Senate filibuster has been around for over 2 centuries, but the president believes it's time for it to go. Our Washington, D.C. correspondent Brendan Scanlon has the details tonight from Capitol Hill.
It's time for Republicans to do what they have to do, and that's terminate the filibuster. It's the only way you can do it.
President Donald Trump is encouraging Republicans in Congress to abolish the Senate filibuster, a centuries-old rule designed to help the minority party and promote bipartisanship.
And to make sure that there was enough consensus on any particular issue or nomination going forward.
The president believes ending the filibuster is the best option for ending the government shutdown, now the longest in U.S. history. Doing so would allow the Senate to pass legislation with a simple majority instead of the 60-vote threshold currently required. It would make it nearly impossible for the minority party to have any leverage.
If they get rid of the filibuster in the Senate, then it means whatever Donald Trump wants is probably going to go right through the Senate as well as the House like it does now. It also means that whoever becomes president, if they get both chambers of Congress, even if they don't have big majorities, they'll also be able to pass legislation very easily, meaning that there will be less bipartisan compromise.
Many Republicans are against removing the filibuster.
I'm not for that.
Citing concerns that it would be used against them in the future.
If we do that as Republicans, when the Democrats are in power, they have said explicitly that they would want to eliminate the filibuster. If you went back to the Biden years and looked at all the crazy things that the Democrats would have been able to do if we didn't have the filibuster, that would have been very detrimental to the country.
Many Democrats did campaign on removing it, but it is now their only source of leverage.
We ran on that. We ran on killing the filibuster, and now we love it.
Senator John Fetterman believes it should be eliminated now to end the shutdown.
And I support it because it makes it more difficult to shut the government down in the future, and that's where it's entirely appropriate.
Reporting in Washington, Brendan Scanlon, WZMQ 19 News.
For weeks, the Speaker of the House has canceled votes as a way to pressure Senate Democrats to pass their continuing resolution. It's essentially kept the House out of legislative session. Our other D.C. correspondent, Rachel Knapp, has asked some congressional members what they think of the move.
The halls of Congress feel a little less busy than usual. Part of that is from the government shutdown, closing tours of the Capitol. But the other part is the Speaker canceling votes in the House. The Speaker argues it puts pressure on the Senate to approve their government funding bill.
And we are ready to come back and continue the work in our committees and everything on the House floor. We will return to legislative session as soon as the Democrats come to their senses and open the government.
Do you agree with the Speaker's decision on keeping the House out of session during this time?
I don't know, it's so much his decision to be out of session. The question is, what would we do? Now everybody's gone, and the Senate is they're still working every day, but what they're working on is the same thing that we did. We passed on September 19th out of the House, passed the continuing resolution, and that was as much as we could do. And then it went to the Senate, and from that time, it's been in kind of a lockdown state.
Well, what it's done is brought emphasis on the Senate because that's who has to do their work still. We passed a continuing resolution that took us through November 21st. They have now made this the longest shutdown in American history.
A few House Republicans have disagreed with keeping the House out of session, saying it's delaying their normal work and legislative duties. And while they are not voting on the floor, others say they are staying busy with other duties.
We have meetings, speaking engagements, all of those things that have been planned for months. I've certainly been keeping up my schedule in district, but then also it's important to be here. But it's also important to be here in the event something happens.
The same thing we do all the time when we're not in session. We're back home. We're meeting with people that have concerns about different issues, and we've never taken a day off. We've been open the whole time. Now, I'm not in every office every day, but I spread my time between the northern part, the central part, the southern part, and that's, I think, what we should do. We're meeting people face to face, talking about things that are the most important things to them, as opposed to being in Washington debating legislation.
In Washington, Rachel Knapp, WZMQ 19 News.
The Northern Michigan University Board of Trustees has approved a new contract for incoming President Dr. Chris Olson. Olson's 5.5-year contract begins January 5th, 2026, with a base salary of $475,000 per year. President-elect Olson and his family will be in Marquette this Monday to attend a community reception at the Northern Center, welcoming him to campus. Olson becomes the 19th president of NMU, where he will also serve on the faculty of the History Department. Olson currently serves as Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs at Indiana State University. Michigan state government is trying to fill the gap left by the federal shutdown. The state is partnering with the Food Bank Council of Michigan to provide short-term food aid as SNAP benefits remain suspended. Our Michigan Capitol correspondent Sophia Murphy has more on how that partnership is helping families stay fed.
With SNAP benefits on hold, the state's Department of Health and Human Services has approved $4.5 million in emergency funding for the Food Bank Council of Michigan.
Members of the legislature stepped up to provide quickly $4.5 million in emergency support so that no Michigander could face this moment alone.
The emergency relief will help provide 6 million meals to families, seniors, and children through the Feeding America pantries. Knight says the move helps feed families statewide for the next 2 weeks, but charities alone cannot replace SNAP.
For every meal we share, SNAP creates up to 9. The math doesn't work for families or for the economy.
In this year's state budget, lawmakers created a $30 million fund for food systems in the state, which FBCM can tap for more money if necessary. The Speaker of the House, Matt Hall, says the state will reevaluate every 2 weeks based on reports from the Food Bank Council.
We're going to look at that as we go week to week to ensure that we meet the need.
The Food Bank Council is seeing a 30 to 50% increase in food distribution statewide and expects that number to grow as the holidays approach. Both leaders say they'll keep working together as long as the federal shutdown continues.
We don't want people to be hungry. We don't want people to starve during this difficult time, but we need also realistic solutions.
Dr. Knight says the state funds will help, but federal relief is the only thing that can fill the loss of SNAP benefits. From Michigan's capital, Sophia Murphy, WZMQ 19 News.
A list of small businesses were recognized tonight for their efforts towards the people they serve across Marquette County. WZMQ's Andrew Hands has more.
This evening, under the theme of Anatomy of a Murder, the Lake Superior Community Partnership welcomed members of numerous Marquette businesses to the Mather Inn for a night of fun recognition with its second annual Small Business Celebration. Across the year, the LSCP has taken award nominations from over 380 residents and fellow businesses based on high impacts and leadership efforts, handing out 5 significant awards this evening.
We think recognition is important of all that hard work, so we have 5 awards that we're handing out, 1 for each of the 4 subregions of the county, and then an overall small business champion, somebody who really helps make the environment that allows small businesses to thrive.
Small Business Champion was awarded to Alexander Kofsky, the executive director of Accelerate UP, for his extensive work throughout the county.
There's so many great businesses, so many people helping out businesses in the area. So to be chosen with this award, it just means the world.
Over the last year, Accelerate UP has served over 170 clients in its free and confidential business coaching nonprofit.
So we're helping create jobs, we're helping people access finances, and we're also really just bringing ideas to life that may or may not have come to life without our help.
Other awarded recipients included Queen City Running Co., West End Gymnastics Center, Big Bay's Lumberjack Tavern, and AV Rental Company. Kyle Aho is the owner of AV Rental.
The community recognition is very nice. I think it comes as a compliment to our team. For us to be selected, I believe, is a testament to who we are and in our efforts to treat people as people in the affordable housing space. That's not always the norm, and so I think that's why we've been recognized for the award.
Throughout the evening, attendees were offered plenty of food, drinks, and even raffle baskets. Kofsky says a celebration like tonight allows for the appreciation that commonly goes unseen.
Not too often we have the opportunity to step back and really celebrate those that are running the businesses and putting in all the hard work.
In Ishpeming, Andrew Hands, WZMQ 19 News.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, the Taste of the Island holiday cooking show returns to the Island Resort and Casino next month. We'll tell you where you can get tickets and how you can become part of the show.
Now, WZMQ TV 19 First Warning Weather with meteorologist Kelly Rowland.
Welcome back. The numbers for today, switch the background from the fall leaves to kind of this ice scraping just to let you know that's what's going to be happening for this weekend. But overall for today, almost right on the money for both the high and low temperatures of where we should be, 42 and 28, the average high and low, and we rounded off 41 and 26. Really nothing to note here, no rain accumulated, and it was pretty status quo, but we do have still that change coming. What's going to be happening is we're not going to have a chance to warm up tomorrow because we do have a cold front moving through. So whatever we're feeling in the overnight, it's going to carry into tomorrow morning. So with that being said, a really nice chance, very high chance of frost into the overnight. Please make sure you bundle up as you head out to work and send the kiddos off to the bus stop. This is a look at your first warning weather futurecast. Tomorrow morning, not going to be too wet of a start. Maybe if you're out to the Newberry area, still have some heavier pockets of rain hanging in there. And tomorrow is where we get that transition from rain to snow. So around that evening time, 4 or 5 o'clock, maybe even pushing into about about 6. That's when we'll start to see the rain kind of have that wintry mix in it. Could have some components of sleet, maybe even some freezing rain. I don't think it's going to just flip a switch and go right from rain to snow. It doesn't always quite do that. And I don't think the snow for tomorrow is going to be what contributes to most of the snow totals, because it is going to be the first decent multiple day lake effect type of event. It's kind of hard to really get things to stick, but at a certain point it's going to, because if you keep piling it up, it's not like rain where it can just be runoff and go somewhere else. But with that being said, we're looking at the snow, and we will have these winds set up for that classic lake effect. Not so much kind of that northwest, but we still get lake effect with the north winds, and of course that's going to really cool us down because it's going to be pulling really cold air all the way from basically northern portions of Canada. So I put this at kind of Sunday morning. I don't want to do the whole event just because that's a really long time frame. If I put Friday afternoon to basically Tuesday, that possibility to see snow all those days, it's kind of hard to get a consistent snow total with it. So a nice dusting at least for Friday, Saturday night and into the start of Sunday, but then we still do have that possibility to add on some more for Sunday, Monday, and even pushing Tuesday, maybe some leftover flakes. But it doesn't need to be a major snow event for you to be prepared. We know winter is just around the corner, so it's not a bad idea to prepare things like with your home, have that furnace, grab some salt, shovel the gas, make sure to fill up your tanks too for your car, switch the tires, make sure you know where your winter coats are, your gloves, your layers, and your boots, of course, if you're going to need to shovel anything out of the way. And most importantly, be aware, stay informed with the forecast, but also check in on your neighbors. A lot of times if those older folks maybe get forgotten about and they can't physically shovel their snow, it's just a time to all come together, and we need to get through the winter together. But I don't want to scare you. I know we're talking about snow, but I don't think it's going to be a crazy type of event, but it's just something to be aware of. We have all the characteristics and ingredients that we need for a lake effect event. We have multiple days of it before we start to get the snow out of here and have some temperatures back into the 40s by this upcoming Wednesday.
Thank you, Kelly. A festive UP tradition returns to the Island Resort and Casino next month. The 2025 Taste of the Island Holiday Cooking Show will take place on December 11th inside the Convention Center's Grand Ballroom. The event will feature presentations, food and gift vendors, and a specially crafted holiday drink. New this year, attendees can submit their favorite holiday recipes now through November 29th, and a select few will get to prepare their dishes with chefs in the island's state-of-the-art convention kitchen.
We're going to bring it out and put it on a buffet line for all of the guests that come to the show to enjoy. It's a warm time of the year. There's a lot of love out there. This has always been a very close-knit event where everybody comes together and shares and enjoys. And that's what the holidays are all about.
You can submit recipes, and purchase tickets for $20 at the Island Resort and Casino, the Daily Press, and Elmer's Country Market. WZMQ 19 is a proud sponsor of Taste of the Holiday Island Cooking Show for another year. Coming up next on your 19 News, high school volleyball district finals scores and highlights with Mike Ludlum after the break.
Good evening, everyone. The Kingsford Flivvers volleyball team survived a scare in their Division II district semifinal last night, coming back to edge Houghton 3-2. Tonight, the Flivvers were home, taking on Negaunee in the district final. We are going to start the action in the third set with Negaunee's Priya Mori serving. Now, Kingsford's not going to be able to mount much of an attack, and Negaunee's going to end up doing about the same thing, kill attempt down the line. That does not work. And eventually, Negaunee will be kind of flipping the ball around, and the next thing you know, it goes into the net, and there was a violation. Next, the Flivvers turn to serve, and Negaunee's just trying to get some offense going. Kingsford won the first 2 sets, and Negaunee's still trying to keep hanging in there, but that one would not work out. On the next play, the Miners are struggling once again to control the possession. Priya Mori's going to make a last-ditch effort to save that one, but the Flivvers have control, and into the net it went. When all was said and done, Kingsford ended up winning this one by the score of 3-1, so they are your winners of the district title. Now, if we can go to the scoreboard in District 2, it was Ogama Heights defeating Sheboygan 3-1, so apparently the next couple of days are going to be Ogama Heights against Kingsford, not only in volleyball but football. So Kingsford will meet Ogama Heights in a Division II regional semifinal Tuesday. Right now that's scheduled to be played at Newberry High School. Let's go to Division III. Manistee against the Gwinn Model Towners pick up the action in the first set. After Gwinn returns, it's Kira Carlson, and a good big effort there, but not quite. Kayla McDougall would get the kill. Emeralds with a 2-0 lead. For Gwinn, Miley Upson, Sammy Sales to Michaela Delmont, and she puts that one down with authority. That ties the set at 3. Off the Gwinn serve, it'll be Kira Carlson, Ashlyn Jones to Aaliyah Sears, and she's going to sizzle that one through the block, and that evens the score at 4. For the green and white, it will be Sears. Jones once again to Kira Carlson. That kill is nicely done. 7-5 Emeralds in the lead. Now for the black and gold, Cadence Ruggiero to Lila Eagle. Back to Ruggiero for the kill. Gwinn trailed 10-6. Manistee won the first and third sets. Gwinn won the second and fourth sets, and the Emeralds survived the fifth set 15-11 to win the district title 3-2. Manistee will face either Jeffers or Western County in a regional semifinal, I should say, Tuesday night. Now let's go to Division 4. That's right there. Ishpeming pick up the action in the third set. Munising against Ishpeming. That's Munising coach Josh Cohn. Janessa Eagle will send the ball over for Ishpeming. Addie Bowerman, the perfect roof though, puts that one down. However, Ishpeming has the advantage 20-9. They split the first 2 sets. Then Brittany Piotrowski, Marie Salisbury to Maya Hammer puts that one down. Ishpeming won the third set 25-14 to the fourth. For the black and orange, Olivia Cody, Krista Dietzman to Addie Bowerman. Gets the ball past Hemmer for the point, but Ishpeming still had the upper hand 20-15. Nora Jo Anderson is going to put that one away for the Hematites. They have a 23-16 lead. Brittany Piotrowski will end the match with a solid kill coming up right here from the far right side of the screen. 25-17, Ishpeming wins it 3-1. Now the Hematites will face the winner of tomorrow's Jeffers West Iron County match Tuesday in a Division III regional semifinal. Now let's go to the scores in Division 4. The Norway Knights defeated North Dickinson by the count of 3-1. So Norway will face Ishpeming in a regional semifinal. I just said, yeah, this is the correct thing I wanted to say. Norway will face Ishpeming in a regional semifinal next Tuesday. Right now that's scheduled for North Dickinson High School. There we go. Also in Division 4, Forest Park defeated Wakefield Marinisco 3-0. That match was in Crystal Falls. Forest Park will take on the winner of tomorrow's Lakeland and Hubble Hancock match in a Division 4 regional semifinal. Right now, that one's scheduled to be played at Lotz. In the Eastern UP, Newberry turned back Rudyard 3-1. It was St. Ignace over Pelston 3-0. So Newberry and St. Ignace will meet in a regional semifinal Tuesday. Right now, that one's scheduled, believe it or not, at St. Ignace. Now in high school volleyball also from Green Bay, a Division 5 semifinal between top-seeded Newman Catholic of Wausau and the Florence Bobcats just across the border. But it was easy to see who was going to be the dominant player on the court, and that was number 1, Camille Sobolewski for Newman. She had 24 kills in the match and a .309 hitting percentage. Florence improved as the match progressed, but Sobolewski's 24 kills were more than the entire Florence team, which had 22. In fact, the other Newman players only combined for 16 kills. Newman Catholic returns to the final with a 3-0 win. Kelsey Chrisman led the Bobcats with 10 kills. Florence ends its best season ever at 31-14, getting to the Final Four. Newman Catholic will meet Rib Lake in the state final Saturday morning at the Resch Center. The Kingsford Flivvers go for a Division 5 district football title Saturday. Mark Navarro's team crosses the Mackinac Bridge to face the Ogama Heights Falcons. The stadium lights were on last night at practice, and there was a full moon helping a little bit in the background. Now, Kingsford knows Negaunee had a good chance to defeat the Falcons because Negaunee only lost 29-28 in overtime last weekend. And we wish the Flivvers the best of luck. It's going to be a tough one for them, but especially with a long road trip. Now, that game will be played Saturday at 1 o'clock. Elsewhere in sports, tomorrow night, of course, the big hockey game with NMU traveling to Michigan Tech to take on the Huskies. The Wildcats are still looking for their first victory of the year. They are 0-10, while things have been going pretty well for Billy McCullough and Michigan Tech. Also in volleyball, both NMU and Michigan Tech are home tomorrow. NMU will take on Ferris State. That match is scheduled for a 4 o'clock start at Vandement Arena. And NMU is trying to win to take another step toward hosting a GLIAC quarterfinal game next week. Michigan Tech will take on Davenport at 5 o'clock, and Lake Superior State also will be home to face Wayne State. That one begins at 7 o'clock. In college football coming up, Michigan Tech will be on the road. The Huskies will be at Grand Valley State on Saturday. I believe that's a 2 o'clock start, if I remember correctly, down in Allendale. And NMU will be on the road taking on Davenport. And of course, it means the Wildcats and Huskies won't be too far apart. NMU already played Davenport and lost to the Panthers earlier this season at the Superior Dome. That's all for sports. We'll be right back.
And a final check of that wintry forecast we have ahead of us. It's not going to be that quite yet. We have very comfortable temperatures into the overnight. It's going to be really mirroring what our daytime highs are tomorrow. So lower 40s with some scattered showers moving through, but we'll already start to see some of that mixing going on for tomorrow because we'll see the 40s transition into the 30s, and you can still get that wintry mix even as high as about 40 degrees, 38, 39 degrees. So may have that wintry mix by the time tomorrow ends. And then I want to skip forward if you have any Friday night plans in the overnight of Saturday. It's going to get very cold, very high chance of frost. Make sure you leave extra time, maybe Saturday morning if your windshield is frosty, to take care of that and make sure we can all drive safely. Maybe not a bad idea either to just get those winter preparations set into place for your home. Make sure your winter clothing is in place too. Everything you can do to prepare this multiple lake effect event that we have going on. But more details on your lake effect forecast and those colder temperatures when we can get improvements coming up tomorrow.
Thanks, Kelly. As those temperatures continue to drop, the Michigan State Police is calling on communities to help keep others warm. The MSP's 5th annual coat drive is underway now through November 27th. New and gently used winter coats can be brought to the Negaunee Post or the Marquette 8th District headquarters, and all donations will stay in the county. Troopers say the campaign has been well received in previous years, donating hundreds of warm winter layers.
The goal behind this coat drive is really just to help look out for some of our fellow Yoopers who may just need a little extra help this winter. You can drop off during regular MSP hours when our lobbies are open, and that's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Coat donations can also be made at the Sault Ste. Marie Post. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow at 6, 5 Central. Good night.